Salty is a diesel engine who has his own place to work on the island of Sodor, just like Mavis. Except unlike Mavis, Salty works at random docks. Salty loves the docks, and whenever he works, he makes the trucks work along to his musical rhythm.
Yo ho ho, when the bucket of bronze, the tailor spins and the captain yawns.
One day, Salty was arranging a freight train for Donald.
Your train is ready to hoist the anchor, Donald,
said Salty. Thank you, Salty, replied Donald. Douglas had an accident with these cars. Hopefully I won't end up like him. Take killed today.
Don't worry, matey. I haven't had an accident in years, so I'll be okay.
As Donald puffed through the countryside, he was making good time with this train. I might make it on time without any delays, he said to himself, but the cars were up to their old tricks. Lower Sudbury Station has a crossing for road vehicles to go over the railway tracks. As the gates began to close, Donald's driver applied the brakes, but they failed because of the screeching cars. Donald shut his eyes and stopped.
"That would near miss,"
he said, but the freight cars were furious.
"We derailed Douglas, but not Donald! No fair! No fire!"
they grumbled. As soon as the gates opened, Donald was on his way again. Once the train arrived at Wellsworth, Donald's cars whispered something to Derek's cars. And Derek's cars told the freight cars at the docks. The cars were thinking of a plan to cause trouble for Salty and see how he reacted to it. The next morning, the docks were busy as usual. Salty arranged the freight cars and then took them to the end of the quay to be loaded. As Salty began to slow down, the freight cars jerked forward and they were about to hit the buffers.
On!
The freight cars cried. "Shiver me timbers!" Salty yelled and shut his eyes for the worst to come.
Oh, I stopped.
You stopped? How is that possible?
I was able to stop you scurvy dogs from causing trouble. Now listen, random docks isn't a place to mess around. It's where engines and boats, big and small, exchange goods with each other, not to cause confusion and delay. You didn't give me any problems since my first day on Sodor, and it must be like that, or you're going to get it.
The freight cars gulped and shivered nervously, and after that, they stayed silent for the rest of the day. That evening, Salty told Donald about how he handled the cars. "Ugh, you sure know how to deal with them," said Donald.
"I sure do, me hearty,"
replied Salty happily. "Now they won't crash whenever I'm around."
Ha 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 ha.